I am live. Welcome to the Poet, or as I'm going to rename this channel, Poetized. I had originally made up Poetized from a long time ago, a word I made up, and I made up another word for the title of this poem today, of which I don't know what I was going to say. Anyway, the microphone looks like it's okay. It's reacting a little bit, not very loud. That's probably good. So today I'm reading a poem called Mortacidal. Now you're like, what? That is strange. I've never heard that word before. That's because, as far as I can tell, it doesn't exist. There's suicidal, there's homicidal, there's pesticidal, or something like that, killing bugs. Pesticide. Side is death, but morta is also death. So mortacidal would be the longing of the death of death, or the end of death, or wishes of the end of death, or something like that. Mortacidal. So this poem, the reason why I came up with that is because I thought, well, when I share this, and this is what I would call the dark side of poetry, or shadow poetry, is a more soft idea. Shading, shadow. It's expressing the darker feelings, and some of you will appreciate that more than others. And I don't write too many of those, but on this particular day, I knew that what I was feeling was more biological than anything. And, whether it was maybe I needed to eat, or maybe I didn't have enough sleep, or whatever. And originally I had it start off asking those questions. Well, maybe I need to eat, or sleep, or maybe sleep's the reason for my feeling incomplete. And I reworded that in this final product. And it's a journey as to trying to figure out why I feel the way I feel. But it's also a journey that explores the vast range of emptiness that one can feel. So I have a verse here that kind of describes this, right? It kind of encapsulates this. And it's from Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes, if you're feeling the way I felt, I found comfort in that book. I read it twice, or listened to it twice this year. And this verse says, "For in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow." Now, the key to Ecclesiastes is the words "under the sun." So this is something that is the highest plane of understanding and wisdom under heaven, right? So within this realm without biblical revelation, Ecclesiastes is exploring all wisdom and in all of life, exploring it all. And he comes to the conclusion that, vanity of vanities, this whole thing is a waste of, you can't say waste of time, waste of life. It seems like a vanity of vanities. So anyway, without introducing it, over introducing it, Mortacidal, I'm going to attempt to perform this live. Perhaps my life's too easy, and that's why I'm unfulfilled. Perhaps I'm bored, under-challenged, and sadly under-thrilled. But then again, when life was hard, I know I felt the same, and thought that at the time my circumstances were to blame. When I'm tired, when I'm stressed, when I need to eat, I know that these and lack of sleep may leave me feeling incomplete. Although I see before me many noble things to do, within the grander scheme of things is quite an apathetic view. No matter what my situation is, the broader scene I see. What time that was, What time will be includes not much of me. Maybe, oh, just maybe, it's this fact of truth I know. The highest plane of understanding might just be what brings me low. I'm disillusioned past the point of pretend and make believe, for with our death goes every reason single cells conceive. Miserable mortality removes the reason single cells conceive. It doesn't end in a positive note, but I can add that later. Mortacidal, it's a longing for, there's two things that the soul longs for, the spirit of man. That is significance and immortality. Might be other things, but I think those are the two. Immortality's very high up on that list. If we're not immortal, we cannot be significant within the broader scheme of things, right? So I have created this word, and I also gave it the definition of a tendency to wish an end to death, longings for natural immortality on earth. So that's mortacidal. And that concludes this. It was wet from the sink anyway. So if you think this will help somebody, I don't know if will it help somebody? I don't know. It helps me. It helped me that day. First, I wrote the gift of apathy, which was beginning more in a darker manner, and then it just became funny. It really lightened my mood that day. But I went back to this one that I had started first, and I continued it, and I let it sit for a while. And there was a verse missing. I didn't know what was missing, but I knew something was missing. And so I added it, and then I found the title that I made up. Because originally it was just the word apathy, and there's probably 10,000 poems with that title. So, but I looked up mortacidal, and that's not a word in the dictionary. So, creativity. Thanks for watching. Make sure you're subscribed on this YouTube channel if you want to see more. Most of my stuff is positive and uplifting and happy. This is the other side of things, and just part of it. So hope you enjoyed that. If not, there'll be more that surely you will. Stay poetized.